My name is Russell Medley, and this is my AEP 855 Module 1 Personal Introduction. A little about me. I've been married to my wife Cassie now for over 10 years. We have two kids, Annabelle, who is in first grade, and Bennett, who is in 3-year-old preschool. I am a PE teacher at St. Mary's Grade School. This is my ninth year doing that. My wife actually just this past year came to St. Mary's as well, so it's been nice where we're all in the same district, same schedule, all that. I also coach basically all year long. I'm an assistant junior high football coach, the head girls and boys basketball coach, and this year I'm also the head junior high track and field coach. I also do driver's ed over the summer, so as you can tell, I stay pretty busy throughout the year. Some challenges that I've kind of had during the COVID pandemic, obviously being a PE teacher, having to kind of modify a lot of the games and activities we do, just keeping in mind our social distancing as best we can, the equipment that we're using. So we have 25-minute classes for PE, and it's kind of a revolving door. So just quickly sanitizing things in between classes has been somewhat of a struggle. And then obviously with like kids wearing masks and things like that in PE and them running around and breathing hard, I've kind of had to fight a lot of kids who don't like wearing their masks, and you kind of can tell kids and kind of do what their parents do and things like that. And everyone has their own opinions on it, but it's sometimes almost humorous to hear what kids have to say about all the stuff going on. And I think it kind of has to relate to do a lot with their families and politics and all that. So in the articles, Moore talks about three different mindsets. The first one is that all students can grow and learn. So finding ways to connect, support, and reach all students. I think this is probably the most important thing for any administrator, teacher, or whatever to have this mindset. Because if you don't believe this, then I feel like you really shouldn't be in this profession. Also talking about teacher collaboration over isolation, just so finding ways to leverage time, talent, and resources where staff can collaborate with each other and things like that. And then happiness and optimism. So shifting the mindset that just being good at your job and the student success will bring you happiness every day, just trying to find that happiness in what you're doing, kind of enjoying the process as you go. Optimism, I think, is really important, especially in times like these, just with everything going on. Just knowing that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, I think, as a school leader, it's really important that you kind of have some optimism. That way, your staff can kind of feed off that and know that things will get better. Some dispositions that Moore talks about. One is confidence, not being afraid to make decisions on what is best for the school, being a risk taker and decisive. And I like that it said like learn by doing, not afraid of failure, and also having a sense of humor. This just helps in easing tension, de-escalating conflicts, help you in making positive interactions not only with staff but also students, and then just reducing stress overall. Some other ones were being empathetically assertive, so trying to view things from others' perspectives, praise those who are coming along, but also trying to continue to coach those who are reluctant to change. And then it's also important to be a lifelong learner, so just keeping up with things in your profession, whether that's reading up on articles, attending conferences, workshops, and then putting that knowledge and sharing that knowledge with others. Some practices that Moore talks about is focus and prioritizing. So just doing simple things over complex things is sometimes your best route to go. And then making sure that you prioritize time around your goals and objectives. Examining feedback and data. So making sure that the right data is collected, reviewed, and acted on with intent of making an impact. I know a lot of times in schools, and I hear other classroom teachers talk about all the data they're collecting, and sometimes frustrated because they feel like it's not being used the right way. And so I think finding that right balance of getting meaningful data that you can really make an impact is going to be important. And then also emotional intelligence, just treating everyone with dignity and respect, being attuned to every conversation. So as a school leader, just anyone that you come across with, you want to make sure that you are fully locked in on that conversation, trying to get their perspectives, and then just making others feel safe and valued. Some other principles are recognizing talent, so identifying those staff and students who are displaying qualities of excellence, and then putting people in positions where their talents can be maximized. Requiring high ethics from everyone, so not only your teachers and staff, but just really communicating clearly to your stakeholders and making sure that high ethics are being enforced. Sensitivity and understanding, just knowing your stakeholders, know their lives, their struggles, being sensitive with information that's shared or that you know about, and just finding ways to create equity in your school. And then inclusiveness is also really important, just making sure that everyone kind of has that sense of belonging and trust among everybody. So as far as critiquing myself with all these different things, I think some of the strengths that I have is that I do have a good sense of humor, try and make light of different things. Emotional intelligence, feel like I'm very good at kind of reading the room and kind of getting other people's perspective and kind of taking all that in consideration. And then focus and prioritizing. I tend to kind of know what it is that we need to get done and make that a priority without getting distracted or off the track. Some areas of improvement, I put down confidence, and while I am confident, I think sometimes, especially if I was going to be a new building leader, especially being a PE teacher, not nothing against that, but just having the confidence in knowing all aspects of the school. Risk taking, I think, is the same way, especially with administrators. You kind of worry about job security, and you don't want to do something too crazy that, if it doesn't work out, that you might potentially hurt you in your job security. And then just that personal courage of, standing up for what is right for students, and kind of going back to the other thing, like you want to do what's right for students, but at the same time, I think it would be tough for me to, stand up against my administrator or my superiors or the school board, things like that. Those are areas that I would probably need to improve on. So how does all this support the educational process? So as a building leader, you're building relationships with staff, students, and stakeholders. You're making decisions that benefit the students and staff, standing up for what is right for all stakeholders. Staff there have the ability to collaborate with others. They're collecting meaningful data that can benefit the school, and they feel valued and recognized for their quality of work. And the students feel that sense of inclusiveness. Their needs are being identified and addressed, and they feel safe and valued. And so here are just my standard correlation, my relevance, as well as my reflection. And here are my references. Thank you.